Heyo guys, I'm back to another video. So as promised, this is going to be my palette review of the Vida Loca palette, which is Kat Von D's new palette. I've never done a palette review before, so we'll see how well this goes because I don't know exactly. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go through every color on the palette, say my quick thoughts about it. This video might end up being 20 minutes long. I'm sorry. So I'll say my thoughts about the color if I've used it and stuff, and I'll show a swatch as well. So you guys. So this is the front of the box. I'm pretty sure Kat Von D, this is like her writing, like she obviously designed all of this, but this is like her writing. If you flip it over, it just gives you an overview of the palette. And it just, yeah, it says it in a whole bunch of languages. So, when we slide out the palette, it looks something like this. So I'm going to start from like this top color and work my way around. So the first color is Anthem. It is kind of like a shimmery magenta color. The color looks a little bit darker than it is. Like when you swatch it, the color's not exact as it appears in the pan, but that's okay because it's still a very, very gorgeous pink color. I think I've used this in a couple of the looks that I've done recently. I'll leave any link or any links to videos that I've done using this palette already down below, so you guys can kind of see some of the colors in action. I think I even used this on Halloween, so that's like my third last video. Yeah, I don't remember. So that's Anthem. Next we move to Muse, which is kind of like a light, it's like a light pale baby pink. I haven't actually used this color yet because anyone that knows me, I'm not so big on like light colors like this. This I would probably, if I was going to use it, I would probably use as like a brow highlight, like so on the brow bone. Or in the corner, if I had a lot of like really dark shadow on the lid, then this color would be really good in the inner corner to bring some brightness. Next color is Echo, which is like, it's like a lavender purple, but it's got a lot of pink shimmer in it. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. So that's Echo. I really like Echo. I've used it lots and lots of times already because it's a gorgeous color. And it's a really nice eyebrow color too. Like, I saw it and was like, I definitely need to use this color in my eyebrows. And I did, obviously, because you guys know me. And it's gorgeous. The only unfortunate thing is it's the only purpley toned shade in the palette, which makes me kind of upset because purple is my favorite color. So that would be a downside to this palette if you like purple colors and stuff. That's the only one, but the rest of the colors are obviously gorgeous. Next we have Dark Wave, which is like a navy blue. I've used this one twice, I think. I used it today, actually. In the crease, you can't really see because I'm too far away, but it starts here and it's kind of in the crease. And it's a really gorgeous shade. It's a navy blue, but I think there's a little bit of like a purple kind of in it because it's not like straight like denim navy blue or anything like that. Next is Simp, which is this gorgeous blue color. It honestly is so nice. I've used this color probably like second most in this palette. Like, this is the color I've used, like, I've used it so many times. It's such a nice eyebrow color too. Like, I've used it in my eyebrows a lot and it's super, super nice. I've used it mostly as a crease color. I haven't really used it as a lid color yet. Probably will at some point. I think I've put this in the inner corner as well. Next we have Hyper Ballad, which is like the teal color in the palette. It's matte. Those last three shades were matte. But it's a really gorgeous color. I think I've only used it once or twice because I have lots of like tealy colors because I wear a lot of purple, so I have a lot of teal because that's like my favorite color combination. Next we have Lemony, which is like a forest green, but it's glittery. It's like a shimmer shade, I guess would be the appropriate term. So it's like a forest green. It's really nice. I used this one once, I think, as a lid color, and it was pretty gorgeous. And that's coming from someone that doesn't really like green, like forest greens. I prefer bright green if I'm going to use green at all. Next is Misfit, which is like a It's like a middle green. It's like a middle tone green, I guess. And it's got some green shimmer in it as well. Not a lot of shimmer, like I don't think you'd really be able to see it from far away. Or after you've like blended it, I don't know if the shimmer would really show up. But if you look at it, you can see it. Next is Vinyl. It is like a lime, kind of like a limey green-ish shade. I use this one in the corner of my eyes a lot because if you look at a lot of my eyeshadow looks, even if like you see my makeup on like Snapchat or Instagram and stuff, if I'm using a lot of bright colors, like if I use a lot of blues and purples on the eye, which is very typical of me, I like to put a nice bright green in the corner because it adds some contrast while still being kind of in the same color family, so it doesn't look too out. It doesn't look too out there, but it still goes with everything. Next we have Legend, which is kind of like, if anyone knows like the color of a loonie, like kind of like a, I don't want to say a dirty loonie. A loonie's like a $1 coin in Canada. It kind of looks like that. It kind of looks like a slightly tinted loonie, like, because it's not like bright shimmer, because it's like a gold and it's shimmery, but it's not like in your face gold. It's kind of like a dirty gold in a way, I guess. Not that the shade is ugly by any means. It's still a gorgeous eyeshadow shade, but that's the best way I can kind of think to describe it. Next is Fran, which is a bright kind of canary yellow shade. I've used this one in the corner, and I think I used it as an eyeliner once too, because I've done that. I need to use this shade as an eyebrow shade and see if I can get it to work, because I tried to do yellow brows once a long time ago, and it didn't work out so well because I'm kind of pale, so like yellow brows just makes me look paler, but obviously I need to try it again until I can get it to look good, even if I like ombre it. I think Fran and maybe Analog, which is the next color, would make kind of a cool ombre brow. Be interesting. Might have to try that someday. Leave me a comment if you'd like to see something like that, a cool ombre brow, a yellow ombre brow. Not that anyone would ever wear that outside except for me, but give me a challenge. Leave me a comment if you'd like to see that. Just leave me a comment saying like ombre brow or something like that, and I'll see if I can make something like that. Next is Analog, which is kind of like a, it makes me think of pumpkins. I look at it and I think pumpkin orange. That's the best way I can describe it. I've used this one a couple times as well. I've used almost all of these shades. I keep saying that, and I've used almost all of them. And this one's matte as well. The next shade is, I think it's Harpsichord. Harpsichord? I think that's what it is. I really hope that's what it is. And it's like a shimmery, bronzy orange kind of color. Like it's bronze, but it's got more orange in it, so it comes off more orange. This is a gorgeous, like, lid shade. It would be cool if you like to do neutral colors, but want to add, like, a little bit. Put, even if you use the brown that's in this palette, Vox? Yeah. Put that in the crease, and you could put this one on the lid and it would add some color, but it would look still fairly like neutral and not natural, but neutral. So I think that would be really cool. And how did I use this shade? I think I might have used this with the purple because I really like purple and orange as a combination, as a color combination as well, because I think it's just kind of different. Next is Rewind, which is like a maroon, it's like a shimmery maroon red, or not maroon red. Yeah. It's like a shimmery maroon red. Kind of gorgeous lid color as well. Anything that's got shimmer in it I really like to use as lid colors. I usually prefer matte shades in the crease, like dark colors, and then bright colors on the lid that are shimmery because it draws attention to the eyes, which I like on my face, so I like to draw attention to them in many different ways. Next is Destroyer, which is a nice red color. And if you're like me, I mean, on camera, it's kind of looking pinky, and it kind of is. Like, when you look at the swatch, it's kind of more pink tone. Like, it's definitely red, and I know, like, there's probably pink tones in red, depending on the shade of red. But I think there's a little bit more pink in this kind of red. But if you're anything like me and you really like bright colors, you know that red is an extremely hard shadow to find. Like, to find a nice, vibrant red that is actually, like, when you swatch it, It's almost impossible. Not even that many high-end brands make a nice bright red eyeshadow. And I think it's got something to do with like, because red and colors like this tend to stain eyes a lot, so people don't like that. It doesn't bother me. But it tends to stain, so people tend to kind of go away. And I mean, obviously lots of people don't know how to use red as an eyeshadow because it's not normal. I hate that word, but it's not normal. But if you're looking for a nice, like, this is one of the colors that automatically attracted me to this palette when I first got the email or first saw it on Instagram or whatever, was this red shade, because I've been looking for red eyeshadow forever. And the only one that I've found that's nice is from Sephora in Red Carpet, I think, is the shadow. I've used it in a couple of videos, but this one is definitely better than that one. Next we have Swoon, which honestly is probably my favorite pink color ever. Like, I don't generally move towards bright pinks. As I say, I have pink on my eyebrows. But this is a gorgeous pink color. It's matte, actually. Well, I mean, there's like a tiny bit of like iridescence, I guess, to it, but it's not really shimmery. But it's a gorgeous pink color, and I've used it on the lid in the crease. I've used it like with a crease color and then put it right in the crease and like blended it out. It's just a really versatile color and I really like it. Last color on the outside portion is Love, which is a shimmery pink color. It is gorgeous also. I've used this color as a lid shade once, I think, for the same reason. Like, I put a dark color in the crease. I think I might have actually put Echo in the crease maybe, and put this one on the lid. Inner Circle, obviously not my favorite. Don't really use these shades. But the first is Strutter, yeah, which is like this beige shade. If you see, I accidentally took a chunk out of it because I was plucking my eyebrows. I dropped my tweezers and the palette was right there. I dropped it and like scooped a chunk out of it. I almost cried. Because it hurt a little bit because this palette's expensive. Next is Lyric, which is kind of like a off-toned white, like a beige. It looks, does it have shimmer in it? Kind of. It's got iridescence, I guess. Next is Black Metal, which is just a matte black. I don't think this could be a palette like this if it didn't have a black, because you always have to have a black, because black's just good. It's just a good, like, crease color. If you're putting bright colors, like, that's usually when I use black. And it's just, you gotta have a black when you have bright colors, in my opinion. Next is Skulls, which is a shimmery white shade. It's really good for inner corner highlighting and brow bone highlighting, obviously. That's what I think you're supposed to use it for. Or like an all over the lid shade. And next is Noble, and it's another kind of beige shade. Beige-ish. It's like dark beige. Dark light brown, dark beige. It's matte. And next is Molder, which is another kind of off-white beige shade. It's matte as well. And the very last shade in the palette is Vaux, which is a kind of chocolate brown, dark chocolate brown. This one's really nice if you're doing a more neutral look, or if you want a neutral color in the crease to use a bright color. This one tends to go with a lot of them. Like, if you kind of look, it like looks nice with like these two, and it almost could look good with Echo too, maybe. Overall thoughts on this palette are, it's beautiful, obviously, like, it's gorgeous. I love holding it and just looking at it all day because it's gorgeous, and all the colors are really nice. The only downsides to this palette, in my opinion, are the price. It's like a $70 palette, which is a lot of money for a lot of people. It was a lot of money for me, but I had like a $50 gift card to Sephora, so like that chopped off a lot of the painfulness of buying a palette like this. So it's like 70 bucks Canadian, I think, ish, give or take a little bit. So that's a little bit like, eeh! But it does have a lot of eyeshadows that are very true to their shade, like true to their colors in the palette. So, I mean, if you'd want to buy a palette with a lot of bright colors to just have one, this could be a very good choice. If you don't want to spend 70 and you're okay spending 50, I would go with the Electric palette personally, because it's got a lot of bright colors and it's a little bit cheaper. It's also a lot less bulky. which is my second complaint with this palette. Although the packaging is nice, it's extremely bulky. Like, this is the size of my head. This is the palette. It's bigger than my whole head. So bulky. Not ideal for traveling. The only thing that makes it a little more ideal is that it's flat. So like if you, because it's kind of thick. Not that thick. But, I mean, it's flat, so it's okay to travel, but obviously like this takes up a lot of space. If you're taking like just a carry-on bag somewhere, this is not ideal because it's huge. Again, that would be where the electric palette would kind of win out a little bit, in my opinion, if you're trying to travel but want bright colors. The only other downfall is just a personal problem, is there's too many neutral shades. I myself do not wear neutral shades, like hardly ever. The only one I've used in here is Vokes and Skulls, and I've only used Vokes like once. So, because anyone that knows me, or if you even like scroll through my videos, you don't even have to watch them. I would like if you watch them. But if you scroll through my videos, you can clearly see that I don't wear neutral colors. I don't do neutral colors. So paying $70 to get 6 neutral colors is kind of like, I'd rather have something else, like some more purples and some more blues maybe. But I mean, I'm not complaining. It's not a complaint, that's just a personal preference. I understand that Kat Von D was definitely trying to aim for everybody, which is totally fine. Like, I get it. I got it. I understand. Just a personal preference. But yeah, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If I did an okay job, please give this video a thumbs up and leave your reviews on this palette if you have any, what you like, what you don't like about it, because I would love to read and we can have a discussion on it. I love having discussions with subscribers and stuff. So yeah, that's about it. I will see you guys in my next video, which will probably be me making my prosthetic scars that I use on Halloween. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys later. Bye!